Congressman Mark Green from House Armed Services joins us, along with the Fraternal Order of Police National Vice President. He's Joe Gamaldi. Great to have you both on. First to you, Congressman, we have to deal with this. How concerned are you about violent protests, with the Supreme Court reportedly releasing opinions potentially tomorrow and Thursday on 18 cases, including abortion, likely putting it back to the states? What do you think?
Well, I'm very concerned. Obviously, the communities where the judges live have shown that they're not prepared to protect the justices, and we've seen already an attempt made on Justice Kavanaugh's life. There are going to be riots all across the country on this. They're prepared. We've heard that they're ready to do this. It's really bad. I mean, it's tragic because they're trying to influence the court and stop this decision. That's the whole point of it.
And it's illegal to do it. So where's Merrick Garland on it still? Congressman.
Well, I missed your question there, Liz.
Where is
I'm sorry.
A.G. Garland on these illegal protests?
Well, he doesn't seem to have an opinion about it. He'd rather go after the school boards and parents that are protesting at school boards than people who are threatening the lives of our justices. So he seems to be absent from his job.
You know, Joe, so they're putting up barricades around the Supreme Court right now. They're doing fencing. Joe, we're already halfway through 2022. Already 5 major cities, Los Angeles, D.C., Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Atlanta, they're on pace to surpass their steep 2021 homicide totals. How are weak on crime policies compassionate to an innocent public?
Well, I'll tell you what we're seeing with these policies. It's creating a culture of lawlessness in this country where nobody's accountable for their actions. There's just no consequences anymore. And we're seeing this played out in our urban communities every single day. Just over the weekend, we had dozens of people shot in Chicago. We had a mass shooting in Washington, D.C., where we had a 15-year-old murdered and a police officer shot. That's in a town where murders are already up 10%, robberies are up 34%. It's playing out in other cities across America. Seattle murders up 55%. In Portland, 21%. In New Orleans, up 36%. And the list goes on and on. And we have these clown prosecutors to thank for it. And, you know, nobody's worse than Chesa Boudin, and thankfully he got outed. But next up, George Gaston. You're next up on the chopping block because D.A. Gaston cut a sweetheart deal to a violent repeat felon. Forget this. Felon in possession of a firearm. What idiot would give someone like that probation? And while they were out, that individual murdered Officer Perales and Santana in cold blood. He never should have been free in the first place. And if D.A. Gascon had a shred of integrity, he would resign in shame for what he's done. And you know what? History's going to judge him for his cowardice.
And to Congressman, to what Joe's saying, the parents of one of the police officers shot by that known felon who was out on a plea deal. He was arrested for illegal gun possession. They're now blaming the weak on crime DA, George Gascon. You know, Congressman, remember when the left were gearing up their gotcha moments, catching cops behaving badly on their body cams? We're going to show this video again. Coming in. It turns out we see their courage and the danger cops face every day. There's the dramatic moment. A 28-year-old suspect pulled up next to a cop in Chicago, conducting a traffic stop. This guy charges at the cop with a huge axe before he is shot dead. This is what cops are dealing with every day. People feel like crime is getting out of control.
Yeah, the left doesn't seem to understand the difference between the good guy and the bad guy. They want to defund the police while they're, putting criminals back on the street. And that's why DAs like out in San Francisco, positive recalls are happening. America has had enough. It's just like with the education transparency stuff in Virginia. People are waking up to the liberal policies and what they're doing, destroying our country. And again, I reiterate, they don't know the good guy from the bad guy. They give $85 billion worth of stuff to the Taliban. They want to cut a deal with Russia while there's a war in Ukraine to actually build a nuclear reactor in Iran, to get a deal with Iran. They want to defund the police. They want to, put criminals. these guys they're upside down, Liz. They don't know right from wrong or the good guy from the bad guy.
Yeah, it's just amoral, it feels like, Joe, Well, the show again, we're going to show the hundreds gathering in California to what Joe was talking about. for the vigil for 2 California police officers shot to death in El Monte outside Los Angeles. And now this, Joe, Hillary Clinton is talking to the Financial Times. She's saying that basically Democrats face, quote, losses, severe losses, frightening losses to Republicans because they keep taking, quote, extreme positions on things like defunding the police, that they need to stop that. She's claiming that, you know, the nation is on the verge of losing democracy to the GOP. Take that on.
Well, I'll tell you, I think a lot of people are waking up and just how big of a loser defund the police. I mean, shocker, people want police officers in their community, right? Anybody with a brain should understand that. But you know what? The American people are not stupid. They're pissed off. They're tired of this woke agenda and the fact that these revolving door criminal justice policies are ruining their communities for a generation. We want safe streets. We want to feel comfortable walking our kids to school. And I'm telling you right now, Liz, there is going to be a reckoning at the polls because the American people are fed up with it. They want law and order in their communities, and they're going to elect people that are going to give it to them.
You know, what's really disturbing to what Joe is saying, Congressman, is, you know, crime is hitting U.S. cities hard. They locked down and shut down Americans. Then they defunded, and right as Biden was letting the border collapse, and drug gangs and more are pouring in to U.S. cities. We see dozens of gangs in Chicago. The number of terrorists on the FBI watch list caught at the U.S. borders, as we reported last Friday, is already surpassing all of fiscal 2021. And so you see that, and then you see Texas Governor Abbott dealing with this. We're going to watch this. Watch.
This is the president's job, national security. And our national security is at risk because of all these terrorists who are on the watch list who may have come across the border. The president of the United States is failing in his most fundamental duty, and that is to keep our nation safe.
And so I'm going to roll to this. Watch CNN's Van Jones about what's wrong with the Democrat Party. Watch this.
Listen, we're in danger of becoming a party of the very high and the very low. If you pull out the working class, you've got people who are very well educated and very well off. Those people talk funny. Latinx, I've never met a Latinx. I've never met a BIPOC. I've never met, you know, all this weird stuff that these highly educated people say. It's bizarre. Nobody talks that way at the barbershop, the nail salon, the grocery store, the community center. But that's how we talk now.
You know, are Democrats reading the polls, Congressman? Gallup is saying Americans are more concerned about crime than they have ever been in the last 6 years. So why are they so out to lunch and not reading and listening to what people on the street are telling them via the polls?
Yeah, they're just doubling down, Liz, and no one seems to understand why. Even I think it was Hillary Clinton herself that said it just fails to common sense. And you mentioned earlier about, or that she said democracy was going to be, you know, extinct. Honestly, I think it's the Democrat Party that's going to be extinct because Americans have had it, whether it's the border, whether it's the, you know, criminal situation. I mean, it's just, I hope they get trounced, and the radical socialist woke people running their party are thrown to the curb, and hopefully we can have, you know, real freedom then.
All right, Congressman Green and Joe Gamaldi, great to have you on. Thanks for joining us.